Hi, I am showing you our week 7 drawing, what we're doing. Actually, it's going to go into week 8. So this is a 1-point perspective beginning step 1 drawing. You're going to need a ruler, pencil, and eraser, and then either a black pen or a black skinny Sharpie or a marker. I just have a ballpoint pen that's black, but it's like gel ink, and I like mechanical pencils for these drawings. Okay, let me get where you can see that whole thing. All right, so in 1-point perspective, there's a bunch of things you have to know. One is there's vocabulary that's important for you to know. So I'm working with a 12-inch wide sketch pad. And I'm going to first put a dot halfway in. So if it's 12 inches, half of 12 is 6. I put the dot right there. And then I'm going to draw a line from one edge to the other. All right, so this line is called the horizon line. And this dot is called the vanishing point. So I'm going to put VP for that, vanishing point. Why is this horizon line and vanishing point called that? Because in landscapes, when the sun sets, it sets and goes behind that horizon line. So it comes down and sets, but it also comes up and goes up into the sky from behind there. So that is kind of how all landscapes start out. So we're doing a cityscape. So we're going to be doing buildings. So let me show you how we do that. All right, so I'm going to measure from 6 inches in the center out 2 inches on both sides and put a little dash mark. That is going to be my main street of my city. So I'm going to draw to that black dot and then out to my 2 marks. So this is my street, and notice how when it gets close to the vanishing point, it gets smaller and smaller, and then both of the lines are together when they get there. So next we're going to do our buildings, and when I'm doing a cityscape 1-point perspective drawing, I'm looking at this line being where I can't draw any more on this road that I drew, and I'm imagining that I am right here standing looking down this road, and so everything to my right and to my left, they're going to be flip-flop mirror images of each other, kind of. Okay, so I'm going to draw a building. I'm just going to, like, real quick, just kind of lay out how I'm going to do one building, and then I'm going to do one kind of over here. All right, so for this one, if you don't have a ruler, you can use any kind of a straight edge, like a piece of cardboard or something that has a straight edge. You just want to be able to get some straight lines. And you want your lines to be just kind of eyeball them as straight as you can. Any little mark that makes it crooked, you're going to be able to tell in your drawing that it's crooked, and it might make all the other things in it appear to be like leaning sideways or something. So, and if you start off just doing pencil and then make corrections and erase lines and fix everything, then you'll be able to have a really nice city drawing. All right, that's the front, the part that I see. It's going to be the part of the building that I see where my little guy, that's me right there, where I can see from there. So the sides of the building that are closest to where I'm standing, I'll be able to see them straight, like straight rectangles. There's not going to be any slant to them until I do the sides of the buildings. And I'm just doing this a little bit quicker than normal, just so that you don't have too long of a video to watch. Okay, now doing the sides of the building. You have 4 corners of my building here on the right that I have to connect them to the vanishing point with like a dotted line. So starting with this corner, I'm going to draw my dotted lines going. And I'm going to do this corner. You do all 4 corners of your building. And this corner. And this one. Okay, so there's that. I'm going to do the same thing over here. Now this other building over here is a little bit shorter, so it's going to look a little different. But it's the same thing. So sometimes when I'm doing a big city, I want to get like all my rectangles laid out in my city before I do the sides of them, or decide how wide the building is going to be or how long it's going to be, because I want to lay out that I have enough room for all of them. So that's step 1. Okay, now I'm going to draw a couple more. I'll do that in step 2 video. All right, so now I have to decide how far down this street does this building go. Notice this is kind of like my road. It's going this way. So do I want this building to go all the way, or do I want to cut it short? And I'm going to cut it short because I want to put some other buildings in. So this next line I make, it's going to be equally distanced from this line, and it's going to go the same direction. So I've got this. I can literally put it up beside my building and then pull my ruler back and go, okay, right there looks good. And then I draw my line from dotted line to dotted line. So here's my bottom dotted and my top dotted line. And then I can go ahead and fill that part of the dotted line in. That's now the bottom of my building, and then up here too. Okay, so that's building 1 so far. I'm going to do the same thing over here. So line my ruler up, and then this time I'm pulling it this way, and I'm going to go to about right there. From dotted line to dotted line, bottom and the top, and then fill in this dotted line, and do the same up here. Okay, so that's the rough draft of 2 buildings. Next, I can just, with my pencil, I can kind of mark out where some other buildings are going to be. I'm going to make like a bigger skyscraper back here. We'll do one kind of going back there. Can maybe do one that's a little bit in the background of that one. Can bring another one over here. I can put one somewhere up here. And then maybe a couple other shorter ones. Put one there. And maybe one back here. Or maybe that can be one big one behind there. Okay, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 total buildings. So let me go ahead and lay these in, make sure my lines are nice and straight. And then we'll do the sides of those. Got that. Do this one first. This one's going to come out just a little bit before it goes sideways. So now, oops.